Welcome back. Returning to our leading news now, and the desperate search for survivors in Nepal following Wednesday's flash floods.
As we go to air this morning, 579 people have been confirmed killed in the disaster. Thousands are still missing, among them dozens of Australians, but some hope after 26-year-old Cara Severino made contact with her parents.
For more, we're joined now by Assistant Foreign Minister Matt Thistlethwaite. Welcome to you. Thanks for being here. So what's the latest? What do we know about these Australians who are still missing?
Well, the latest update is that there's unfortunately 41 Australians who are still unaccounted for. We've been in contact with most of their next of kin. We've got consular staff on the ground there in Kathmandu who are doing their best to try and contact those that are unaccounted for. If there are any Australians who have any information, the best advice is to contact the Smart Traveller website or call our emergency hotline on 1300 555 135. But we're doing all we can. We're working around the clock to try and make contact with these missing Australians.
Minister, what does that help look like on the ground over there?
Yeah, we've sent 8 crisis response team members. These are experts who are trained in rescue and recovery management. They know how to assess the situation, what equipment to use. That's a request that came from the Nepalese authorities. So we've sent those over. They'll arrive on the ground there today and they'll be working with the Nepalese authorities to try and rescue as many people as possible. The rescue was suspended for an hour yesterday due to uncertainty around further flooding, but thankfully it's resumed and we're doing everything we can to try and locate those Australians.
There are headlines around even this morning from Reuters saying that the Nepalese government have refused some international offers of help for rescue, search and rescue. That's not relevant for Australia?
No, we've been in contact with the Nepalese authorities through our post in Kathmandu and overnight they have requested support from Australia. We responded immediately and we've sent those 8 experts who are on their way to the region, so they're going to be working with the Nepalese authorities.
Matt, when you look at these pictures, they're just absolutely devastating. It is hard to comprehend how difficult the task is.
Yeah, it's absolutely harrowing. That footage is completely terrifying, and our thoughts and our prayers are obviously with those that are missing and their families. We're still hopeful that we can relocate those missing Australians and indeed other foreign nationals who've gone missing, as well as the locals. I attended a vigil last night with the Nepalese community here in Strathfield to offer the government's support. Yesterday afternoon I hosted an online forum with members of both the Nepalese community and the Tibetan community to provide them with the latest update. The Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade are working around the clock to support those communities here in Australia and overseas.
In terms of that financial assistance, the Australian government has now given $5 million. This could be our deadliest overseas disaster for Australians since that 2004 tsunami. Is that enough? Will there be more coming down that pipeline, do you think?
Well, at this stage, that funding goes to the World Food Programme to provide emergency food kits to those that are in the region. Also, the Emergency Action Alliance. This is a great group of Australian NGOs who have expertise in this area, organisations like Oxfam. We provide that funding to them because they're experts and they're ready to go, and they can deploy that equipment and the necessary support very quickly. When we had the earthquake last time in Nepal, Australia provided over $20 million worth of support. At this stage it's $5 million. It could grow into the future. It just depends on what the request from the Nepalese authorities is.
Okay. Of course, amongst the thousands of people that are still missing and unaccounted for, some amazing news overnight. Missing Australian 26-year-old Cara Severino has been able to make contact with her parents. This is amazing news.
Yeah, that's very pleasing. Her family put out a statement. Our officials have been in touch with the family to discuss how we get to Cara as quickly as possible. Obviously, the region is devastated. The roads out of the area are completely destroyed. There's no telecommunications infrastructure. 10,000 homes have been destroyed. She's attempting to hike out as best she can, and we're trying to make contact with her to get transport to her as quickly as possible and get her safely back to Kathmandu.
Well, that is such a relief for that family. Minister, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.